Hello, welcome to another session from Magna Training. In this session, we are going to talk about what is SAP. So this is a brief overview of SAP. You have a text version of this document available on www.magnatraining.com/whatisSAP. All right. So for starters, what is SAP? SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. There's a German equivalent to this, but this is the English equivalent of what SAP stands for. And SAP, as I was mentioning, is a German company. It started in Mannheim, Germany, and then it's now a big international company which has probably more customers outside of Germany than it has inside of Germany. It's an ERP. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource and Planning Software. So if you want to have more information, you can just click on that link down there, magnatraining.com/whatisERP. It has a video and some information on what the basics and backgrounds of what an ERP is and the different ERP systems around in the industry. Also, SAP was started by 5 IBM engineers in the late 1970s. And the fundamental difference they wanted to make in the software was that it was standards-based ERP software. So it's not to say that there were some software packages or some software companies out there in 1970s, mostly probably based on the mainframe. SAP tried to differentiate itself from the crowd by focusing more on the common requirements of any company. So it starts out with one company, starts implementing requirements for that, and tries to standardize the requirements and take the same standard requirements to the next company and say, hey, we got all this requirement figured out, why don't you just buy this off-the-shelf package? Once again, this was done on a mainframe. So back in the 1970s, that was the only system. So there was no concept of client server back then. The initial release is called R2. The R in the R2 stands for real time, and it was called R2, and it was on a mainframe. So the first release that SAP has done was on a mainframe, and the package was a financials package. So it talks about basic financial accounting, and then P&L statement, balance sheet statement, and assets and all that. that are mostly complementing SAP's existing R3 functionality. They are called new dimension products. We'll talk about that later on the slides. And the interesting point to note here is that they're all based on the software called they are all based on a technology called SAP NetWeaver, which is a standards compliant technology from SAP, which enables it to put its information on the web. For more information on NetWeaver, you can just go to www.magnatraining.com/whatisNetWeaver. Alright, so who uses SAP? 70% of all Fortune 100 companies use SAP. This is according to the Gartner research in 2008, so this data is as accurate as of 2008, but it's still valid because there are not much changes that will happen in this section of the companies. And again, 50% of all Fortune 500 companies use SAP for their daily operations. And for the small and medium enterprises, SAP has released a software called ByDesign and Business One. Business One is a standalone version of their ERP for small and medium enterprises. ByDesign is a hosted version of SAP designed specifically for small and medium enterprises. So when we say small and medium enterprises, it's anywhere between 100 million to 700, 800 million. So it's something that's less than 1 billion and above 100 to 100 million. So when we talk about the big companies, the Fortune 100 and 500 companies, you can see that the pictures over there just say talk for themselves. Walmart, ExxonMobil, Ford, Apple, Adobe, Unilever, Chevron, Bank of America, GM, Deutsche Bank. Many companies use SAP. Probably just go to Google and type in companies that use SAP. You'll get some information on the SAP's clients. That being said, what are the different modules in SAP, or ECC as it is called these days? ECC stands for Enterprise Central Component. So it is the next version of SAP R3. So SAP R3 or ECC has all these different modules. It's a module in SAP or a component in SAP that deals with a specific business functionality. For example, the module FICO, which stands for Finance and Controlling, deals with the finance and controlling aspects of an enterprise. And the module SD deals with the sales and distribution aspects of the enterprise. The module MM deals with material management, PP deals with production planning, QM stays with quality management, warehouse management, logistics execution, HR, human resources. PS stands for project systems, and EH&S stands for environment, health and safety, product lifecycle management. Some of the functionalities that you see here is pretty straightforward. For example, you might easily understand what finance, what is the functionality of finance in a company, or sales, or procurement. But SAP also has other modules for more esoteric requirements like project systems, logistics execution. These are all specific requirements that not all companies might have. For example, when we talk about finance and controlling, Bank of America did a project in 2008 that only deals with their finances, because Bank of America, for example, only deals with finance. It doesn't do logistics, it doesn't do production planning, it doesn't have project systems maybe, or it doesn't have environment, health and safety module. So it deals mostly with finance. So it has finance related modules from the core module like FICO, and and as in the next screen that we are going to see, it might have implemented other new dimension modules like consolidation, BPC, business process consolidation, or financial supply chain management. Takeaway from this screen is that not all companies might use all modules, but these are all the different modules or functionality that's available in SAP. So different companies use a subset of these modules, and I, as of now, have not seen any company that uses all of these modules. Alright, this screen talks about the new dimension products from SAP. They are called MySAP. These are all the products that come under the MySAP umbrella. Some of the products are CRM, SRM, APO, and so when I say CRM, it talks about customer relationship management. So customer relationship management talks about pre-sales and post-sales activities of a company, including marketing, service, and then some sales, channel management, etc. Supply relationship management deals with extending the procurement of an enterprise. Advanced planner and optimizer, or it's called SCM these days, which stands for supply chain management. This deals with demand planning in an enterprise based on historic reports or based on seasonality. And BI is the business intelligence module, which is the data warehousing module. It also has a small reporting interface as well. Since SAP has bought BO, which stands for business objects, so most of the reporting is being done in BO now. So these new dimension products, SCM, BPC, and FSCM, are based on BI, and there are many more products in fact that are based on BI and leverage the analytics and data warehousing processing capabilities in BI. PI stands for process integration, or exchange infrastructure as it was called previously, and this module deals with integrating the different SAP products together and interacting with other non-SAP products. And SAP also has a bunch of industry solutions, as they're called, or IS for short. For example, if you see there is a industry solution offering called ISAFS, which stands for apparel and footwear. The reasons why SAP has come up with industry solutions is that as part of the implementation that SAP has been doing for quite a lot of companies, what SAP has found out is that the business requirements are pretty similar in industries from a particular domain. For example, when you talk about Nike as a company that manufactures shoes and apparel, it's only natural that companies like Adidas, Reebok, Puma, all of these companies have the same or similar set of requirements. So it made sense for SAP to launch a product that deals only with a specific vertical. Let's say, in this case, apparel and footwear. So IS-AFS is a solution from SAP. It's a totally different package altogether that only specifically deals with the business problems and associated with apparel and footwear industry. Similarly, SAP has also got close to 23 or 25 different industry solutions: IS oil, IS utilities, retail, auto, and media. Oil and gas, for example, is used by the major oil industries. Utilities used by the major utilities industries. Let's say Comcast or Pacific Gas and Electric, and all your utilities industries. IS retail is used by your retail industries, say Walmart, Apple retail stores, and these companies that have a retail presence use retail. SAP IS retail. IS auto is used by GM, Ford, or Freightliner, or the trucking company, or any company that uses that is in the automotive domain. IS Media is used by media companies like Reuters, Thomson Reuters, or Oxford University Press, and all companies that are in the media and publishing industry. So as I was mentioning previously, there are close to 25 industry verticals as I speak, and they are growing. These are some examples of industry solutions implemented in different companies. Nike, Adidas, Reebok, all of these apparel and footwear companies use the industry solution AFS. ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, these oil giants use the IS solution called IS Oil. And IS Media, as I was mentioning, is used in companies like Thomson Reuters, Oxford University Press, and even the film producing company Lionsgate uses IS Media. That was a brief introduction to what SAP is. If you got any feedback, please do feel free to visit our website www.magnatraining.com and leave us a comment. We're also available on YouTube, and we've got a channel, youtube.com/magnatraining, and we're also available on Twitter, twitter.com/magnatrain, facebook.com/magnatraining. Hope this session was useful. Thank you.